When we created our sub-summary reports previously, we found out you could view them in browse mode or preview mode or even print them. But what if you want to get at that data? There are other ways to go ahead and get the data out of FileMaker in sub-summary format. Up until now we showed you how to export all the records, but what if you just want to summarize data to come out? Let's show you how you can do that. And before we do that, let's remind you what we did with our reports. We had two: report by category and by state. So if we go to report by category and we make sure that we sort the records, and we have to sort by category, and then let's try it in preview mode and see what it looks like. You can see we have government, and then we had nonprofit, and then we had these categories right here. And actually what we did here, as I'm noticing, is we didn't show all records. I was wondering why we didn't see any commercial. Let's show all records and then sort again, and we'll get a much better report. You've got to be able to figure out your problems very quickly. If you go in there and you go, why isn't my data there? This doesn't look right. You've got to be able to quickly go, that's what the issue is. So we'll sort again, and this time our report will look a little bit better. Commercial 32 with all the data following it, and then government 8, and then nonprofit. So there you go, there's that report. Let's go ahead and switch over to our report by state. We'll have to sort it again, clear all, sort it by state, and we'll get a very different report. All the contacts by state. Now let's take a look in layout mode real quickly. We'll go into layout mode. Remember, this one was a sub-summary by state and a trailing grand summary. Our other report was a sub-summary by category, then a body part. So one showed detail, one didn't. So what you're going to get when you actually export with the next feature is not really the detail. You're going to get more of a report like this one without any body part. So let's go ahead and try it. Go into browse mode. And before you export, you need to make sure you're sorted. So go to sort records, and I'm going to sort by state. Then when we go to export, we'll call it sub-sum 1. Tab separated text is fine. Automatically open file is good. On the desktop, we'll hit save. And before it said unsorted, but now it says state here. We're going to actually check that. Then we'll clear all these out of here. And what we want in here is the state field. We'll move that over. And you won't be able to see the count field, which we're going to want to also export, until we go to current table. And it's right down here. And when we move it over, because we had that checked, it moved over the regular count field, the summary field, plus this italicized version, which is actually the same as if you put that count field, that count summary field, into a sub-summary part. This is more like it being in a grand summary. So let's see what happens. We're going to uncheck this, although it really wouldn't make a difference here. We'll export, and then it opens it up, and you can see what we've got here. On the first record, what you get is a total here. This is the grand total, that count. Now, it happens to have nothing right here because we had one record, one contact that had no state. That's, so you can see that one over here. But on the next one, you'll see we don't have the 45 again, but we have two tabs, and then we have the italicized count value. Here's California, has 7. So that's pretty cool. You can actually get the summarized data, and you can do anything. You can import it into another program. You can go ahead and put it into a report, whatever you want to do. Now let's go ahead and do that same thing. We'll call it sub-sum 2. Hit save. This time I'm going to remove this just so you can see what's happening. Click export, and you see the difference is we only have one tab between each of these. So you've got to understand how the feature works. You got to fiddle around with it, and I've done a lot of that for you, but I may not show you everything, so you have to do some fiddling yourself as well. Now there are other ways to get data out of FileMaker. And you always want to compare and contrast all the different ways you can get the data out. So now we know how to do exporting by grouping. But you can also do a PDF. So if we went to our report by state and we went into preview mode, we can then click this button, which is also happens to be over here, Save Send Records as PDF. So we'll click that. We'll call it pdf.pdf, automatically open, records being browsed. Hit save. And you can see we get a PDF document, a one-page PDF document with all that data in it. That's pretty cool. I like that because anybody can open up a PDF document. Everybody's got Acrobat. Or on the Macintosh, everybody has Preview. It's easy to open up. You also have the option of copying. You can actually go up here and copy the whole page if you want. Now to see this, we're going to go into our form layout, or our form in browse mode, and then we're going to go to our media. We'll go to a different record here, and then we'll go ahead and paste into here. Now it's kind of hard to see, but if you squint you can see that that report has been reduced in size. Let's go ahead and real quickly go into layout mode. Click on this, show the inspector, and we're going to go ahead and change how this works. There we go. Go to graphic, and what we're going to do is say crop to frame. We'll send it over to the left in the top. Go back into browse mode. Go to media, and you can see that report in there. Now it's visible. Just crop it off, but at least you can see that it's in there. So you want to analyze each way of getting your data out. Which way is the best? Do I want to print it on a printer and hand it to somebody? Do I want to export it so somebody can import it into another program? Do I want to save it as a PDF so it looks really nice because I can put graphics and things like that on it? Do I want to go ahead and copy it to the clipboard so I can paste it into an existing document like a word processing document? It all depends on what you want. Analyze the situation, figure out what the best approach is. So you want to be able to have a real good understanding of all the features so you can choose the right choice for the right job.